This is the 70th Taiku in Talmud Bavli, the Babylonian Talmud. And 70, it's interesting that it's coming out on a Thursday because in my calculation work, 70 has a big connection to Thursday for some reason or another. So it's interesting. 70th Taiku on Thursday, August 28th, 2025, and it is the 4th of Elul, 5785, Yom Hamishi, and the parsha is Shoftim. The 70th Taiku, the Taiku is an unresolved question, a question that leaves us hanging, and the tradition is, and the saying is that we need to wait until the Messiah comes. Elijah the prophet, as he heralds the Messiah, will reveal the answers to the question. And my question on that is, why is it Elijah that needs to reveal it? Why not the Messiah himself? But that's my own personal Taiku. At any rate, let's continue. The 70th Taiku is found in Tractate Yevamot, page 117a. Start with Amar of Nachman. Amar of Nachman Ba'at lebet din ve'amra met Bavli hitvuni linaseh matirin ota linaseh v'notin la ketubata tenu li ketubati af linaseh en matirin ota v'ataimeh adaite de ketuba atai. Rav Nachman said, a woman came to the court and said, my husband died, permit me to marry. The halacha is that after investigating the matter, they permit her to marry. I don't know why she needs a bezdin to permit her to marry. If her husband dies, she can just marry. I don't know why she needed a bezdin to do that, but okay. They permit her to marry and also give her her marriage contract. However, if she came and said, give me my marriage contract, they do not permit her to marry. What is the reason? Since she came with the money of the marriage contract in mind, she is suspected of lying, and her testimony is rejected. כל מילה דאית לאיניש אמר לו לבדינה. ואם תמצא לומר כל מילה דאית לאיניש אמר לו לבדינה. תנו לי, also in brackets, אם תמצא לומר כל מילה דאית לאיניש אמר לו לבדינה, in brackets. תנו לי לכתובתי והתרוני לנסה מהו. However, the following dilemma was raised before the scholars. If she came and said, permit me to marry and give me my marriage contract, what is the halacha? Since she mentioned the money from her marriage contract, this shows that she came with the marriage contract in mind. Or perhaps, every matter a person has in his favor, he will say to the court, even if it is not of particular importance. And if you say that the ruling in this case is in accordance with the principle, every matter a person has in his favor, he will say to the court, then in the case where she said, give me my marriage contract and permit me to marry, what is the halacha? Blowing the shofar. In my building, someone blows a shofar just about every day. It's 4:41. And 41 is equal to emet, truth. The Gemara explains the size of the limit. Here, she certainly came with a marriage contract in mind, as she mentioned it first. Or perhaps she said it in this manner since she does not know what will set her free. In other words, she might have thought that taking the money guaranteed her marriage contract is a part of the process that enables her to remarry. But this does not prove that she is focused on the money. This is just hard to understand, this whole reason why they're talking this way and leaving it like a Taiku. I mean, things are very simple. If a woman is married, she needs to get divorced. A divorce is in a court with I'm talking from the Jewish law here because, after all, this is Jewish law. It's Talmud. A woman says, permit me to remarry and give you a marriage contract. Did she get a divorce or did she not? Any way you look at it, this doesn't seem to be necessary. I don't understand what the whole discussion here is. Just to finish it off, if she said, permit me to marry and give me my marriage contract, what's the halacha? Well, is her husband dead or alive? If the husband is dead, then she doesn't even have to go to court. If the husband is alive, then she needs a proper divorce. Plain and simple. What is this whole argument and Taiku? I mean, what's this all about? Anyway, what they're saying here is just if she came to Bezin and she said, permit me to marry and give me a marriage contract, what's the halacha? Since she mentioned the money or her marriage contract, this shows that she came with the marriage contract in mind, or perhaps every matter a person has in his favor will say to the court, even if it's not of particular importance. I mean, I see a lot of process going on here, but it doesn't seem to be relevant. Not when analyzed very carefully in light of Jewish law. A woman cannot come and say, let me remarry. She needs to get divorced. She needs to prove that her husband is either dead, or this is why there was a lot of issues during the war of lost husbands, women who can't get remarried because they don't know the status of their husband, whether he's alive or not alive. And so really, according to Jewish law, this whole scenario seems moot. But I guess that'll be my own Taiku. There's oftentimes I have my own Taikus that are attached to these Taikus. The Gemara explains the size of dilemma. How here, she certainly came with the marriage contract in mind, as she mentioned at first. Or perhaps she said it in this manner since she does not know what will set her free. In other words, she might have thought that taking the money guaranteed by her marriage contract is part of the process that enables her to remarry. But this does not prove that she is focused on the money. So the Gemara says that this is a Taiku. We don't know the answer to this. And my question on that is, how is this case ever even possible or even relevant that you should even have a Taiku in the first place? And we'll leave it at that. This is Taiku 70.